Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about data mining concepts and techniques. Second unit, mining frequent pattern associations and correlations. So the topics: basic concept, frequent item set mining methods, and few interesting patterns and pattern evaluation methods. Then summary. And the motivation behind this pattern analysis is a customer when he go and purchase a products, what are the products often purchased, and when they purchase a product, what are the subsequent product can be purchased, or when we go for a new drug, what kind of DNA are sensitive to this new drug, or when we have large amount of web document to select the recovered document, how it can be automatically classified. With the help of frequent pattern analysis, we will do all kind of analysis with respect to this. Exactly where we are applying this pattern analysis to take business analysis to understand or identify the shopping interest of the customers. So for example, we'll take here basket data analysis, cross marketing, catalog design, sale campaign analysis, and weblog analysis, and DNA sequence analysis. These are all few applications in which pattern mining analysis concept is used. For example, if we take basket data analysis, it is a typical example of for frequent item set mining. This process analyzes customer buying habit by finding associations between the different items that customer places in their shopping baskets. The discovery of these associations can help retailers develop marketing strategies by gaining insight into which items are frequently purchased together by customers. For instance, if customers are buying milk, how likely are they to also buy bread on the same trip? This kind of analysis can be done in this market basket place. By knowing these details, the shopper or the shopkeeper, they know very well about the interest of the shopper. According to that, they will showcase their product. Okay, they will locate the product. Okay, in case of uh, weblog analysis, when we have large number of web pages search, for each and every page there will be some weblog files. By doing analysis in the weblog, we can understand the user interest. Uh, so according to their user interest, the remaining pages will be retrieved. So next one is, in frequent pattern analysis, there are few terms which we have to familiar. So first one is item set. Uh, if we have one or more item sets like milk, bread, diaper, all combinedly these will be called as item set. Each and every product will be called here as an item. Okay, and frequent item set, an item set whose support is greater than or equal to minimum threshold. For example, when we take this item set like a milk, bread, diaper, okay, the minimum support will be assumed by as, okay, for having milk in this item set, what is the minimum support. Okay, if it is a 2, okay, then already for this item set we have assumed the minimum support is 2. It will be compared with this uh, support. It should be greater than or equal to this minimum support. Then this item will be called as frequent item set. I will repeat. Okay. Milk is in a product. Okay. This milk will have support. Okay. So support in the sense the possibility of occurrence in the particular item set. Okay. Suppose if it is 2, for example, okay, the whole item set, for this whole item set, the minimum support must be assumed by us. If it is also 2, then this individual item support will be compared with the item set minimum support. If it is equal or greater than this minimum support, then the milk will be frequent items. Or if you take milk and bread, then milk and bread will be frequent item sets. Okay. The next one is frequent pattern. A pattern is nothing but a set of items or subsequences or substructures that occurs frequently in a data set. It is nothing but frequent pattern. Okay. And support count, frequency of occurrence of item set. For example, if we take milk bread diaper, okay, the milk is 3 times occurred in this item set, then 3 will be the occurrence, frequency occurrence of the particular item in the item set. Or when we have number of transaction, each and every transaction will have this type of item set. Among these item sets, if milk bread diaper item set occurred many times, then the frequency of the occurrence of the item set is the support count. The next one is support. This gives the frequency of the item in the data sets. For example, if we take 10 items, 5 apples, 3 eggs and 2 pens, among which apple occurred 5 times. So for this item apple, the support is 5. Okay. And the minimum support. The minimum support is always supposed according to the choice. You can select any minimum support to decide that the item set is frequent or not. Then next one is confidence. That is very important. This explains how likely Y is purchased when X is purchased. For example, okay, we can take in the first the first item set. So when you go and purchase milk, what is the possibility of purchasing bread also? That is nothing but confidence. Okay. So next one is frequent pattern analysis. So here again we have two more frequent pattern item set. The closed frequent item set. Another one is maximum frequent item set. If any item set has no superset with the same frequency, then the item set is called as closed frequent item set. There should be no superset for the given item set. That should be a closed frequent item set. In maximum frequent item set, if the item set does not have any frequent superset, any superset, any frequent superset, then item set is called as max frequent item set. And so, what is the importance of pattern mining? Okay, see, when we have a large number of items, so it is very important to identify the association between different items or correlations and causality analysis. And when you have sequence of data, okay, then sequential and structural pattern analysis is very important. to understand about the data. Okay. And pattern analysis in spatio-temporal and multimedia and time series and stream data also coming under this pattern mining. And by using pattern mining, okay, we'll do classification as well as cluster analysis also. Okay. So when we store number of data in the data warehouse, okay, there also we are using pattern mining concept by identifying the pattern, okay, by identifying the frequent pattern, okay, the data will be categorized, the items will be categorized and will be stored in the data warehouse, okay. And semantic data compressions, okay, it is there also we are using. So next one, these are all the importance of frequent pattern mining, frequent pattern minings. So to identify the association, correlations and causality among the collected data, and in sequential data to analyze the patterns among the sequential data and structural data. And pattern analysis can also be used in spatio-temporal, multimedia, and time series and stream of data. Then the pattern mining also used in classification, cluster analysis, data warehousing, semantic data compressions, and other applications. And basic concept, frequent patterns. Here we'll take the first table. Left side the table is given. Okay. So we have number of items. For each and every items we have one transaction ID. For example, the first one you can take 10. Transaction ID for 10. Okay, we have some item set like beer, nuts, diaper. Transaction ID 20. We have items like beer, coffee, diaper. Transaction ID 30. We have items like beer, diaper, eggs. We have transaction ID 40. Okay, for which we have item sets nuts, eggs, milks. Okay. Same way for 50, we have nuts, coffee, diaper, eggs and milk. Okay. In this table, what are the item frequently occurred for which transactions? What are the items in this table, okay, occurred many times? The frequency of occurrence of an item should be found. Here, the right side, it is defined item set is nothing but a set of one or more items. Another one is, so number of items, it is a k item sets. Absolute in the sense the frequency or occurrence of an item set in the given table. You can refer in the given table. For example, beer, nuts, diaper. Okay. These item, how many times it is occurred over here? Or beer, nuts, how many times it is occurred in these tables? Mhm. That will be called as absolute support. For example, we can take beer and nuts. Okay, in transaction ID 10, the beer nuts is occurred. Okay, the same way, nowhere it is occurred. So beer nuts, for beer nuts, the occurrence is 1. Okay, so this absolute support is 1. Okay, and relative support in the sense, the occurrence of beer nuts or items, it is called as relative support. Okay, so for example, when we go and purchase PC, okay, while purchasing PC, you will also purchase antivirus. See, the occurrence of PC and antivirus is nothing but absolute support. Okay, and absolute support in sense how many times the PC and software is occurred in our item set. That is nothing but absolute support. If PC and software, if it is occurred along with printer also occur, then it will be called as relative support. The next one is an item set X is frequent if X support is not less than minimum support or threshold. So in the given table, you can find out if for this table, for all these transactions, you can have minimum support is for example 2. You can assume the minimum support must be assumed. Okay. Now you can see all the items. Okay. Find the minimum support for all the items. The minimum support is nothing but how many times, that is the frequency of occurrence of the particular item must be identified. So if it is equal or greater than the minimum support which is already assumed by us, then the particular item is frequent item. For example, if we take beer, the beer is an item which is occurred in this table, okay, 2 times, 3 times, for example 3 times, okay. But we already assumed for this whole table item set the minimum support is 2. Now we found for beer the minimum support is 3. Why? Because 3 times it is occurred over here. So when it is compared this 3 with the 2, it is greater than this minimum support. So beer is the frequent item. The same way you can take uh, two products also, that is item set also. Beer and coffee, for example. The beer and coffee, how many times it is occurred in this table? It is occurred only 1 time, for example. Okay, 1 if it is compared with the minimum support which was already assumed by us, it is a 2. Then it is less than minimum support. So beer and coffee combination is not frequent item set. Okay. So the next one is, you can see support and confidence. Support, the same way we can define the support also. Support in the sense, when we purchase PC, okay, along with antivirus also available, that is support. Okay, see here, support, yes, probability that a transaction contain X union Y. X is the product and Y is another product you can take. So if both are available, that is support. Confidence in the sense, when you purchase X, there is a probability to have Y also. Okay, that is nothing but confidence. So here you can come down beer and diaper. So beer while purchase, there is a chance of purchase diaper also. Okay, here 60% is support and 100% is the confidence. The next one is association rule mining. Okay, so association rule mining. Association is nothing but finding an item associated with other items. That means what is the association between, okay, different items. Okay, so finding this association will be able to identify the particular product, or will be able to identify the next product which is going to be associated with this particular product. Okay, so for this we need to define a rule. We have to generate the rule. Okay, in general, association rule mining can be viewed as two-step process. One is we need to find all frequent item set in a given transaction. So transaction will be number of transactions. For each and every transaction, we'll have item set. Okay. For all item set, we have to find out frequent item set. Okay, that is different by definition. Each of these item set will occur at least as frequently as predetermined minimum support count or minimum support. The next one is from this frequent item set we have to generate strong association rule from the frequent item set. Okay. So first we have to find out frequent item set in the given collection of item set. From this frequent item set we have to generate strong association rule for the given frequent item set. That is, for example, these rules must satisfy minimum support and minimum confidence. Remember, minimum support and minimum confidence. So we have some formula. Okay, when we generate a strong rule, it should support or satisfy minimum support and minimum confidence. Next one is frequent items set mining methods. Hmm. So there are different frequent item set mining methods. One is a priori, a candidate generation and test approach, under which we will see how to improve the efficiency of a priori. A priori is a method which will help you to find frequent item set. Okay. And the other method approach is FP, that is nothing but frequent pattern growth approach. Okay. And next, frequent pattern mining with a vertical data format. You can see that. So under down closure is a downward closure property and the scalable mining methods. Okay. So it is conditions any subset of frequent item set must be frequent. For example, if we take beer, diaper, nuts is a frequent item set, then the subset of each and every item must also be frequent. Okay, here we take beer, diaper, nuts. Then if you find a subset for beer or diaper or nuts, then each and every item must be frequent. Okay, even beer and diaper also frequent. All the subset of the frequent item set will be frequent. So there are some scalable mining methods. Okay, these are three major approaches which we already told: a priori, frequent pattern growth, vertical data format approach. So next one is to generate strong association rule and weak association rule with a given database. There are two steps are there. One is find all frequent item sets. The other one is strong rule generations. There are two approaches there. Okay. Under find all frequent set, there are two methods are there. One is a priori, another one is frequent pattern growth. Okay. So next one is pruning principles. Okay. So a priori is a candidate generation and test approach. The other way, how this will be called a priori, a candidate generation and test approach. There is one pruning principles. Okay. If there is any item set which is infrequent, its superset should not be generated. Okay. We have multiple item sets. If we found any item set is infrequent, okay, so for infrequent item set there is no need to generate superset. Okay. So the method initially how this pruning principle is working. Okay. Initially the given database must be scanned once to get frequent one item set. Finally you have to have one item set until you have to scan the database. Second, generate length candidate item set from length k frequent item set. Next one is test the candidates against database. Then terminate when no frequent or candidate set can be generated. So we'll follow this procedure to find frequent item set in the given table. Now, so it is very important. Here is a priori algorithm. Okay, by using this a priori algorithm, we are going to find frequent item set. First we will take first table. Okay, it's a database. It is a transaction database. It is a given database. Here we have a number of transactions like 10, 20, 30 and 40. Okay. So for each and every transaction we have some item set. For transaction ID 10 we have ACD items. For 20 we have BCE. For 30 we have ABCE. For 40 we have BE. Okay. For each and every transaction we have item set. So during the first scan, okay, we will create another table C1. Okay, and before that we should assume the minimum support for this table is 2. This table is 2. Okay. Here now we will find out the occurrence of each and every items. So if you take A how many times occurred? Okay, here it is a 2 times occur in this table. So that will be given in the second table, C1 table, A subset, it is occurring 2 times. So support is 2. Same way here you can take B. B is occurred in 3 times. So B for 20 occurred B. For 30 B is there. For 40 also B is there. So 3 times it is occurred. So support for B is 3. And for C, okay, C is occurred for transaction 10 and 20 and 30. So for C also support is 3. And D, for transaction 10 the D is occurred, so it is 1. And E, it is occurring 20, 30 and 40, so this support will be 3. Now we found C1. Here you have to compare this support with this minimum support which was already assumed by us. So minimum support is 2, that will be compared with the C1. Here it should be greater than or equal to this minimum support. So if it is less than the minimum support, that must be removed from, it is a pruning. By pruning this, okay, we'll create another table, that is L1. Okay, so now we have taken only one item set. Okay, from this L1 table now we'll go for 2 item set. We have here in L1 A B C E. Okay, with this 4 item we'll try to find out the combinations with the 2 items. In C2 table is created like AB, AC, AE, BC, BE and CE. These are all the possible 2 item combinations. Okay, from these C2 again we'll try to find out the support. Okay, the support will be calculated with the help of the first tables. See, in the first table AB combinedly occurred how many times? Here you can see transaction ID 30 AB is occurred. So AB is 1. And same way AC is occurring 2 times. For transaction ID 30 AC combinedly occurred. Okay, and for transaction ID 10 AC combinedly it is occurred. Okay, so for AC it's a 2. Okay, and for AE it is a 1. Then BC it's a 2, and BE is a 3, and CE, if you see here, okay, for 20 C is occurred, for 30 C is occurred, so 2 times. Now we found for all the minimum support for all the item sets in the C2. Again we have to compare this minimum support with the already assumed minimum support. Already assumed minimum support is a 2. Okay, when comparing these with this, okay, which are all the support is less than minimum support, that must be removed, and the remaining with this remaining item set will create another table, it is L2. Okay, in L2 we have all. Okay, so all item set which is having greater than or equal to minimum support. Okay, from this again we'll go for, okay, C3. Now with the we'll try to find out possible three item three item combinations. Okay, so here AC, A B C E. Okay, we have four items. With these combinations we will have BCE is another item set. Mhm. So from this C3 table, this BCE support is 2, which is equal to minimum support which was already assumed. So with this we created L3. Even though we have more number of combinations, we have taken only BCE, 3 item frequency, um, BCE alone. Why? Because other combinations have less support. So we removed, we have taken only BCE. So from this we found support for BCE, it's a 2. It is equal to minimum support which was already assumed. It is a L3. So finally we cannot go for 4 items. Okay, even if you go for four items, there will be support will be 0. So at this level L3, okay, we found uh, frequent item set BCE. Okay, so finally we found one frequent item set, that is BCE. This support is 2. Now we'll try to generate a strong association rule using association rule mining. To generate association rule mining, we need to have confidence also. Okay. For confidence, okay, the formula is support count divided by um, support count A. Support count A union B by support count A. Okay. Another way we can define confidence L minus. So another way we can define confidence L minus S equal to support count of L by support count of S. Okay. It should be greater than or equal to minimum confident. It is very important. The minimum confident is nothing but, okay, it's a 2. That is the minimum confident threshold value. Now L is nothing but we already found one frequent item set, that is called L. Okay, so from this L we'll try to find subset. Okay, see for example here it's a BCE. The subset of BCE, okay, it is a table over here. Sorry, the slide is slightly missing. Here you can see generating a strong rule by using association rule mining. Okay, to generate a strong rule, okay, we need to have confidence. For confidence, the formula is support count A union B by support count A. And the same way, in other way, we can represent confidence L minus S equal to support of L by support count of S. Okay, here it should be greater than or equal to minimum confident. That is minimum confident is nothing but minimum confident threshold which was already found. Okay, see here I equal to BCE. It is a frequent item set which was found already. Okay, from this we'll create subset for this item set. Okay, that is S. Okay, in this table S table, okay, we created we generated a subset for this given L. Okay, B C E B C B E C E B C E and empty. Okay, so empty will be removed and the remaining everything will be taken. Okay, and same way we can go to next level. Okay, it's a confidence nothing but L minus S. Okay, so L is nothing but BCE. You know, from BCE we are going to do subtraction subset. Okay, see here from BCE if you subtract B subset 1 B, okay, you will get CE, that will be given in the other table. The same way, okay, L minus S, okay, L is BCE minus the second subset is C. By subtracting this C from BCE, we will get BE. Okay. Then from L, by subtracting E, then we will get BC. Okay. So like that, L minus S will be found. Next we will go for CE. For CE, what is a support? Okay. For here, next one is L minus S. L is nothing but frequent item set. For BCE, we already found minimum support, and S is here. Okay. For CE, what is the minimum support? Okay. For L divided by the support for CE, that is given over here, and by doing this divisions, we'll be getting 100%. Okay. Same way for B. Okay. For B, okay, what is the support? We can refer the other tables. And it is there in the subset table itself. And L, it is given here BCE. The BCE is the frequent item set which was already found. So for that, minimum support is 2. Okay. So 2 by 3. Okay. So 2 by 3 is 66. Same way for BC also. Okay. And E and C and B. Okay. So finally we found the percentage. Okay. From these percentage, we'll identify which items are more frequent. That is 100% frequent. Okay. Here CE and BC are item set which is occurred more frequently. So more frequent item set is C and BC based on the confidence. Okay. Suppose if you take 66 is the minimum support for this table. Okay. 66 or 70 is the minimum support for this minimum confidence threshold. For example, minimum confidence threshold for this table, then we can identify CE and BC is the frequent item set. So I told you it should be greater than or equal to minimum confidence threshold. So this way we are generating strong association rule by using association rule mining. So at this stage we'll close this lesson. Okay. The remaining will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.